Hello students, so our today's topic is light. There are so many phenomena are related with the light like reflection, refraction, diffraction, total internal reflection, etc. So in this chapter we discuss two most important phenomena related with light, that is reflection and refraction. We also study spherical mirrors and spherical lens and various cases of image formation by them. So watch the complete video, subscribe the channel, and for more study material you can also visit our website newerasolution.in. Light is basically the form of energy with the help of which our eyes see objects, because when light from a source fall on an object and reflected back to our eyes, we are enabled to see that object. So in light, first of all we have to discuss about ray of light and beam of light. So ray of light means when light particles moving in a straight line. So ray represented by a single straight line moving in a particular direction, which gives the direction of propagation of light. Then beam of light means a group of rays. As we know, there are several number of rays emitted by a source. So these rays in form of a group form beam. So we categorize beam in three categories. Number one, parallel beams, when all the rays moving in a same direction. Second, the converging beam, when all the rays moving towards a particular point or focus towards a point, then the beam is called converging beam. And third is diverging beam, when all the rays of light moving away from each other and converge from a particular point. So beam may be parallel, converging or diverging. The first phenomena related with light is reflection of light. So reflection means bounce back of light. When light fall on a shiny surface, it bounce back in the same medium again. For example, if we have a shiny surface AB on which an incident ray fall at point O, then it reflected in the same medium by the surface. So during the reflection, the incident ray bounce back in the same medium as reflected ray. Now there are some laws related to reflection which are known as laws of reflection. So there are two laws of reflection. Number one related with incident ray, reflected ray and normal. So first law state that incident ray, normal and reflected ray must lies in a same plane. So if one ray is coming in xy axis, then the reflected ray is also moving towards xy plane and the normal also drawn in xy plane. So incident ray, reflected ray and normal are in a same plane. Now the second law of reflection states that the angle of incident is always equal to angle of reflection. So if we know the angle of incidence, we can also calculate the angle of refraction. So in a given case of diagram, AB is a mirror, I representing the incident ray, capital R representing the reflected ray, O is known as point of incidence, ON is a normal drawn to measure the angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Because the angle of incidence small I and angle of reflection small r cannot be measured without drawing the normal. The main application of light for us is the forming image. So the image formed due to light may be real or virtual. So there are two types of image we have. One is called real image, another is called virtual image. So the real image are those images which are formed due to converging of light. So when light converge at a point, then the image formed is real in nature, and the real image is always inverted in nature. Inverted means, that is, the top of image become bottom and bottom of image become its top. Then there is another properties of real image, that they can be obtained on screen. So the real image can be formed on screen. Now we discuss what is virtual image. So virtual image are those image which are formed due to diverging of light. So when light diverge from a point, at diverging point, they forming virtual image. These image always erect in nature. The erect means these image always straight. So the top remain top and the bottom remain bottom. And generally these image cannot be obtained on screen because they are virtual. So they are not obtained on screen. Now let's discuss about the image formation of plane mirror. So when light fall on a plane mirror, it reflects the light and form the image due to law of reflection. So when we observe the image formed by a plane mirror, then there are some properties of that. So number one, the image formed by plane mirror is always virtual and erect. So it cannot be obtained on screen and it is always in a straight. Second, we observe that the image formed by plane mirror is same in size as the object. Whatever the size of object, the size of image is same. The third property of the image formed by plane mirror is that the distance of the image from the mirror is same as the distance of object from the mirror. So if object move towards the mirror, the image also moves towards the mirror, and if object move away from mirror, the image is also move away from the mirror. And the fourth property, we observe that the image formed by a plane mirror is laterally inverted. It means the left side of the object appear to the right side of the image, and the right side of object appeared the left side of the image. As we already discussed the image formation by plane mirror, in which we observe that the image formed by plane mirror is virtual and erect, and it is always in a same size as the object. But in some of the case, we require the size of image greater than the object, or in some case we require the size of image smaller than the object. So to achieve that, we form spherical mirrors. So formation of spherical mirror is almost same as the plane mirror, but the basic difference are in their structures. Plane mirrors are basically the plain glass surface which is polished from one side, and spherical mirror are spherical glass surfaces polished from one side. So there are two types of possibility to polish that surface. In one case, we can polish the spherical surface from the outside, and in second case, we can polish that spherical surface from the inside. So there are two types of spherical mirror can be formed. One is known as concave mirror and other is known as convex spherical mirror. So concave spherical mirror are those spherical mirror in which light is reflected from inside and they are polished from outside. And convex spherical mirror are those spherical mirror which are polished from inside and reflect the light from their outer surface. So if you want to remember, the spherical mirror which reflect the light from the cave is known as concave and other is known as convex. Now these mirror also named as converging mirror and diverging mirror according to their performance. So concave mirror also known as converging mirror because it can converge the light, and convex mirror can known as diverging mirror because it diverges the light. Then the concave mirror can form real as well as virtual image. but convex mirror can form only virtual image which cannot be formed on screen. So before studying the image formation by concave mirror and convex mirror, we also have to study about the terms related to these spherical mirrors. As we already discussed, the concave mirror is a spherical piece of glass which is painted from outside. Then AB is a concave mirror polished from outside. Then the first term related to the spherical mirror is pole. So pole that represented by P is the midpoint of the spherical mirror. The second term we have the center of curvature C. So the center of curvature is the center of that glass sphere from which that concave mirror is cutted. So the center of glass sphere is the center of curvature for the concave mirror. The third is the principal axis. So principal axis is an imaginary line passing from center of curvature and pole. So this line passing through the pole and center of curvature known as principal axis. The fourth term we have aperture. So aperture is basically the length of concave mirror. So A to B is the endpoints of spherical mirror. So A to B, the reflecting diameter of spherical mirror, is also known as their aperture. The next term related to spherical mirror is their radius of curvature. So the distance from center of curvature to the pole is known as radius of curvature. The next term we have is the focus of concave mirror, which is also known as principal focus or converging point. So it is the point on principal axis from where a parallel ray of light passed after reflection from the spherical mirror, and it is represented by capital F. So principal focus is the midpoint of center and pole, and it is the converging point because when parallel rays fall on concave mirror, they always converge towards the focus. The next term we have focal length. So the distance between focus and pole is known as focal length with the symbol small f. So the focal length is half of the radius because focus lies in between center and pole. So the focal length is just half the radius of curvature of spherical mirror. So next are the terms related to convex mirror. So convex mirror is basically a piece of spherical mirror which is polished from inside. So the term related to convex mirror more or less same as a concave mirror. The first term is the pole. So again pole is the midpoint of convex mirror. The second term is center of curvature, which is again the center of that glass sphere from which that spherical mirror is cutted. The third is radius of curvature, which is again the distance between center of curvature and the pole. So the radius of curvature is also same as concave mirror. The next is aperture. So again aperture is the length of mirror AB. So aperture is also same as concave mirror. Next is principal axis. So principal axis is the imaginary line passing from center and pole. So it is also defined in the same way as in concave mirror. But the next term, which is the principal focus, which is the converging point for concave mirror, now in convex mirror it is a diverging point. So focus in convex mirror is the diverging point lies on principal axis, which is the midpoint of pole and focus. So when a parallel light fall on convex mirror, it reflected in the line of focus. That's why it is known as diverging point for convex mirror. And next is the focal length. So again, focal length is the distance between focus and pole. So that separation is called focal length with symbol small f, and it has the same relation as it has in a concave mirror. That is, the focal length is half of the radius of curvature. So beside from the focus, most of the terms in concave and convex mirror are same. So to study the image formation by concave mirror and convex mirror, we have to take some light which reflected by these mirror. Now we have a certain case of rays whose reflection result we already know. So in case of concave mirror, when a light which is parallel to principal axis incident on the mirror, then after reflection it passes through the focus. So the light parallel to principal axis pass through the focus. Case number 2 shows that when a light passing through the focus incident on a concave mirror, then after reflection it become parallel to principal axis. Parallel light pass through focus and light passing through focus become parallel after reflection. The third case we have when a light passing from the center of curvature incident on the concave mirror, it retraces the same path. That means the light follow the same path as it moved initially, because any line passing from the center of curvature is behave as a normal on spherical mirror. And we know in case of plane mirror also, when light fall perpendicular to plane mirror, it retrace the same path and move to the same path again. The fourth case shows that when a light incident on pole, it reflected with the same angle as it incident on the mirror. So the angle of incident and the angle of reflection for the pole is same. Now let's discuss some results of reflection in a convex mirror. So as we know, in convex mirror, focus and center both are virtual because they lies inside the mirror. So the results are slightly changed. In the first case we observed, if a light which is parallel to principal axis fall on a convex mirror, it diverges in the line of focus, because focus lies inside and light cannot reach inside, so it just diverges in the line of focus and it appears that it is coming from the focus. In second case, if a light is moving towards the focus, after reflection it becomes parallel to principal axis. So if it is parallel to principal axis, it move in the line of focus, or it is moving in the line of focus, it becomes parallel to principal axis. In the third case, as we know, center of curvature is also virtual term in convex mirror. So when a light move towards center of curvature, it diverges in the same line. So it retraces the same path because center of curvature is again the normal of spherical mirror. In fourth case, when a light incident on the pole, it again reflected by the same angle according to law of reflection. So by using any 2 or 3 results of the rays of light reflected by spherical mirror, we can obtain the image formed by these mirror in different cases. Now let's check how many possibilities to form the image in these mirrors. So we are going to check the number of cases of image formation in concave mirror as well as convex mirror. So in convex mirror, the first possibility is that when object placed at infinite. So when object placed at infinite. The second possibility is when the object placed at a finite distance but it lies beyond center. So this is the second possible case of concave mirror. The third possibility is when object lies at the center of curvature. The fourth possibility of forming the image is when object lies between center of curvature and principal focus. The fifth possibility to form the image is when object lies at principal focus, and the last possibility to form the image is when object lies between focus and pole. Beside from that, there is no possible case. Now in convex mirror, the first possibility is again when object placed at infinite, and the second possibility is when object placed in front of mirror. But beside from that, there is no possible case obtained in convex mirror because focus and center both lies inside the mirror and these are virtual. So the object can be placed at infinite or it can be placed at finite distance. So there are 6 possible cases of image formation in concave mirror and only 2 possible cases of image formation in a convex mirror. The first case of concave mirror, when object placed at infinite. So let an object A be placed at infinite in front of concave mirror. So in that case, only the parallel rays coming from the object can reach to concave mirror because the other rays move away from the spherical mirror. And for parallel rays, we know that when light parallel to principal axis incident on a concave mirror, they converge toward the focus. So these two rays converging at focus, that's why the image formed at focus. So the image formed at F. As we observe, the size of image is very small because it is just point size image. And third, as we discussed, because these two lights are converging, so the image formed is real and inverted. So when object placed at infinite, the image formed by concave mirror is at focus and it is highly diminished or very small, and due to converging it observes that it is real and inverted. Second case of concave mirror, when object placed beyond center at a finite distance. So let an object A be placed beyond center of a concave mirror. Then we take two rays, one which is parallel to principal axis and second is passing through the focus. So as we know the result, the parallel ray passed through the focus after reflection and the ray passing through the focus become parallel after reflection, and these two rays converge between the center and focus and forming an image A dash B dash. So if we write the property of the image, first it formed between center and focus, second because it is forming due to converging of light, so it is real and inverted in nature, and third, as we observed, the size of image A dash B dash is smaller than the actual size of object. So the size of image is diminished or small. So this is the second case of image formation by concave mirror. So in case 3 of concave mirror, the object is placed at the center of curvature. So let an object A be placed at center of curvature of a concave mirror, and we take two rays, one which is parallel to principal axis and second which is passing through the focus. So the parallel ray reflected in the line of focus and the light passing through the focus become parallel after reflection, and as we observed, these two reflected rays meeting at point B dash by the converging and forming the image A dash B dash, at the same point C where object is placed. So the image also formed at center of curvature. The size of image and the size of object are same. So the image has same size as object, and because it is forming due to converging of light, so it is real and inverted. So at case number 3, when object placed at center, the image is also formed at center. So in case 4 of the concave mirror, the object is placed between center and focus. So let an object A be placed between center and focus of a concave mirror, and we take two rays, first and second, emerging from the object. One is parallel and second is passing through the focus. So the first ray passed through the focus and the second ray become parallel to principal axis. These both the rays converge at point B dash and forming an image A dash B dash according to the rule. So we observe that in this case the final image formed beyond the center of curvature. The size of image is comparatively large as the object, and this image is also forming due to converging of light. So it is real and inverted in nature. So in case number 4, when object placed beyond center and focus, the image formed beyond center. The fifth case of concave mirror is when the object is placed at the principal focus. So let an object A be placed at the focus of concave mirror. Then the first ray, which is parallel to principal axis, pass through the focus after reflection, but because object is already at focus, so the light cannot pass through focus. So we take another ray of light which is in the line of center of curvature, which retrace its own path and again pass through the center of curvature. These two reflected rays parallel to each other, and as we know, the parallel rays meet at infinity. So in that case, the image formed at infinity, and the size of image is very large, or you can say infinitely large. And as the image formed due to converging of light, so it is again real and inverted in nature. So when object placed at focus, the image formed at infinite, and when object placed at infinite, image formed at focus. The sixth case of concave mirror is very special because in this case concave mirror form virtual image. So in sixth case, object is placed between focus and pole. So let an object AB which is placed between focus and pole of concave mirror. So the parallel ray passed through the focus after reflection, and the second ray which is moving toward the center reflected in the same line. So these two rays are diverging ray which cannot meet in front of the mirror. So these rays diverge to meet at point B dash and forming a virtual image A dash B dash. So in this case, the image formed inside the mirror, and because it is forming due to diverging of light, so it is virtual image, as well as this image is straight, that's why it is erect in nature, and also the size of image is bigger as compared to the size of object. So the image is larger in size. So in case number 6 is the only case in which virtual enlarged image formed by concave mirror. Now let's discuss the image formation by convex mirror. So in convex mirror, the first case when object placed at infinite, so let an object A be placed very far from the convex mirror, so only parallel rays reaching to the mirror. and we know the parallel ray diverge in the line of focus. That's why the image due to diverging light appear to be formed at focus. So the image formed at focus in convex mirror when object placed at infinite. Second, because the size of image is point size image, so it is very small or very diminished. And again, the image formed due to diverging light, so this image is virtual as well as erect in nature. So when object placed at infinite at point size, virtual erect image is formed at the focus of convex mirror. In the second case of convex mirror, the object is placed at the finite distance. So let an object AB placed in front of a convex mirror, then a parallel ray diverges in the line of focus, and a light which is moving toward the center is diverged away from the center in same direction. So these two rays diverge at point B dash and form a virtual image A dash B dash in between focus and center. So in that case, a virtual image is formed between focus and pole. The nature of image is virtual and erect because it is forming due to diverging, and the size of image is small as compared to object. So in convex mirror, a virtual diminished image is formed in between focus and pole. If we compare the concave and convex mirror, concave mirror can form real as well as virtual image, but convex mirror can form only virtual image. In concave mirror there are 6 possible cases, but in convex mirror there is only 2 possible cases. The concave mirror forming virtual image of bigger size, but the convex mirror forming the virtual image of smaller size. The image of concave can be obtained on screen, but the image of convex mirror cannot be obtained on screen. Due to these properties, the use of these two mirrors are also different. Concave mirror is used to enlarge the object, like in searchlights, in solar cooker, in shaving mirrors, in makeup mirrors, etc. And convex mirror is using to diminish the object, like it is used as a rear view mirror, side view mirror of the vehicles. I hope today's topic clear to you. In next topic we discuss about the mirror formula and the numerical based on it, and we also discuss about the reflection of light. So share the video, subscribe the channel, and if you have any doubt you can write us email or in the comment box, and you can also visit our website newerasolution.in for more study material.